What's happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have a Kershaw knife here to unbox for you, and this is a brand spanking new release for them. If you've never dropped by the channel before, welcome to GBall Vision. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know what your EDC is looking like. What we have here is the Bel Air. They released a ton of different Bel Airs here over the last month or two, and this is going to be one of the standard size, but it is going to be the clip point version, which is a favorite among many, and a lot of us are waiting on an XL variant of the clip point. I think that is going to be absolute money. I think it's on its way. It's just a matter of time. But this one here is the clip point in the standard Bel Air size, and it's going to be sporting some really nice shredded carbon fiber handles, and then it's going to be coming in magnet cut steel, and it is USA made, all USA made components, deep carry clip, very deep, and it is going to be left hand friendly. You do have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans, and then beautiful crossbar lock action. I would say some of the best, if not the best, crossbar lock action in the game. I would put this up there with the likes of Kaiser and whoever you would consider to be the top, because the Duralock is routinely knife in and knife out that has it. Just spectacular, in my opinion. Really strong, but really enjoyable. And then a smooth, clean closing action. Just a great knife right here. You want to talk about a bug out killer? This is the ultimate bug out killer right here. What's even better than all of that is the price tag right now on this particular knife. It's going to be on a huge sale. Typically, we were seeing these at like $220, maybe even a little bit more. We're actually going to see them at $180 on a sale at Blade HQ. I will have links to it down in the description. This is a new release, USA made knife in carbon fiber with magnet cut, done properly. Kershaw has been nailing their heat treats on their magnet cut, M4, 3V, crew wear, just doing a killer job left and right, front and back. Kershaw ZT have been having a tremendous run over the last 2 to 3 years. They've had some things I have criticized, but really, they have made me a fanboy. Sharpening choil is decent on these knives. Spectacular knife, in my opinion. I can't wait till they do the XL Bel Air. And speaking of size, let's get a look here at this for the people who aren't familiar. It is going to come in to the bottom of that clip, 7 1/4, but to the butt end of the knife, it's about 7 1/16. We have 2 7/8 of cutting edge and 3 1/8 of total blade. For size comparison, we have the Spyderco Para 3 and the PM2. This is going to be much more in line with something like the Para 3, but not near as tall. If you're wondering what are the other Bel Airs or what's the XL, this is the XL here in comparison with the standard size, and you can see they're a little bit longer on both ends, and this is the other blade shape I have been referring to, which is the original blade shape, and a lot of people absolutely love it. I know that I do, but I also like the clip point variant, and I want to see it in an XL. You can see here they did a similar carbon fiber with that modified drop point version of the Bel Air, and that's in magnet cut. What's really cool though is you can get these in a multitude of different handle materials: aluminum, micarta, carbon fiber. I believe they've done G10. In the XL, you can get magnet cut, you can get M4, 3V. So there are a ton of options, and like I said, almost every single one of these knives is on a huge sale right now, like $30 to $40 off the price. So that's pretty damn good for a new release. If you've never seen their clip before, it works really well. And in the case of these, it's going to carry very deep. You will not see any of that knife poking out of the pocket. So we consider that ultra deep, very clean, nice clip. I don't want the Kershaw on the back there, but not a huge deal at the end of the day. That's just me being critical, and that's going to have really nice retention. It is surface mounted, but plenty of clearance under there and a really good retention on it. One of the best deep carry clips in the game, in my opinion, and it is going to be left-hand friendly. Now it's time to get the arch nemesis out here and give this bad boy a weight check. Now, I like to play a little game here on the channel with the new knives that come in, and I attempt to guess the weight. I always invite you to play along. You put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. And if you're enjoying this video, you like knives and gear, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I release a new video. You'll never miss another one. I'm going to give it a go here, and I'm going to say steel liners, and there's no milling for weight relief. I'm going to say this is pretty low, like a 2.8. 2.8. I've been off like 0.3, 0.4 the last like 3 or 4 knives. 2.8. Lock it in. Oh! I'll take that. That's pretty damn good. I'm pretty honed in. 0.2 to 0.4 off. That's not bad. That's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad at all. 72 grams for the weirdos. 2.6 ounces. I'll take it. Here's where we separate the men from the boys. We'll get the calipers out, get a couple of measurements on our handle and blade. Handle thickness is 0.38, pretty thin, 9.8 millimeters. Not meant to be a thick, heavyweight knife though either. 2.2 millimeters. Got to keep things in perspective. And 87 thousandths. This is meant to be a lightweight slicer with blade stock like that. 87 thousandths. That is nice and thin. Very thin. Let's see if we can get a good hold here on our BTE. And that's pretty damn close to right behind the edge. And no, that's not very close. That's pretty close right behind the edge there, and that's going to come in at a very standard 22 thousandths. Let's see how this bad boy cuts out of the box. We'll use our standard catalog paper here. This will be a good poker and a great slicer. Love MagnaCut. It is a well-rounded steel. It is the most well-rounded steel in a sense. It is a pretty damn tough steel. It has good edge retention, and it's very corrosion resistant. You could consider it a Salt Series knife. Those couple of mess ups were just me fiddle farting around. It has a good, sharp, toothy edge on it. And I would say that's a little, I don't know what they did there, but it feels a little toothier. And you know, to actually come to think of it, the 3V felt really similar, like it had a very sharp, toothy edge. Now, I am not much of a sharpener. I'm not an expert in any stretch of the imagination. So, you know, I can give to the best of my abilities what I think. You ought to let me know if you're real familiar with sharpening and dealing with MagnaCut and even 3V. Let me know if that's something you know achievable on those steels. I know it is with 14C because I've done it myself. Gotten that real toothy sharp edge, but can MagnaCut do that as well? I think it can. We'll get a look here at the hardware situation. We have our off-grid driver with a T8, and that's what our pivot is. And then I already know T6 for the body and the pocket clip. And I believe, yeah, you have to take the pocket clip off in order to access the insides of the knife, which is a good way to keep the hardware down, but it's a pain in the ass for the disassembler. Not a huge deal, though, to take off one extra screw per se, but the clip does have to, at least, I think in order to take the carbon fiber off the steel, you're definitely going to have to remove both the screws. But if you just want to get to the insides, you could probably just do the top screw, because that is through the post there. All we have left for this fella right here is a couple of checks, and it is perfectly centered up there right out of the box. Nice tight tolerances. I already talked about the crossbar lock. It is phenomenal. If you like a crossbar lock, or if you like the Bel Air, if you want to get your hands on one of the best and the most affordable, or one of the most affordable USA made knives, spoken only for EDC or directly to EDC. It's not a collector's knife or anything like that, and it's priced as much, $180 for this knife. Now, you can get the Bel Air in a much more affordable package. You can get the standard blade shape and get it in aluminum for like $130, $140. But you can get the clip point in the new carbon fiber for like $180. So depends on what type of blade shape you're looking for. Do you want it a little lighter weight? Do you want it a little heftier? And we'll go ahead and bring out the bug out just to show you that it's not even remotely close to the design of the bug out. They are completely different. Even the Bel Air standard modified drop point is completely different than something like the bug out. Just because it has studs and a crossbar lock doesn't mean it's like the bug out. I like to show that when I remember, not even remotely close. But one thing, I over tightened that and left it go. The one thing I can say is these are going to come in at $180, even at their full price, or their original price that they were released at, which was like $225, I think. It smokes the bug out in S90V or Magna Cut. They want they want like $300, and in some cases more than $300 there at Benchmade. Don't know what they are smoking. They could let us know, but don't know what they're smoking whatsoever. This is way, way better than the bug out. This one or the XL, either one, way better. You would spend $100+ less, so you could get the Bel Air or the Bel Air XL, and also go grab go grab something else, right? You could go get ammo, or whatever. I mean, it's just a way better deal. You're going to get good heat treat, unlike Benchmade's rocky ass heat treat. It's up, it's down, it's up, you don't know where it is. From everything I've seen, from the D2, the 14C, all the way up to their Magna Cut, Crew Air 3V, M4, their CPM 154, has all been really good stuff. So I couldn't be happier than I am with Kershaw. I've done a lot of patting them on the back over the last year or two. I've also, given them a couple of smacks, but for the most part, they're absolutely killing it. I can't wait for them to get their hands on some different locking mechanisms. I hope they keep using different steels, coming out with more designs, different sizes. They're on an absolute tear right now, and they're in the driver's seat, no question about it. Past Benchmade, Hogue, Insert, Spyderco, they're starting to, especially with new designs, new stuff coming out. Yeah, you could say, they've already done this before. They just added, different scales. The other Bel Airs, however, I mean, it is cool that they added the new scales with the beautiful satin. If they did this in a different steel like Crew Air, then I'd be real happy, but I'm happy about this. This is a pure kick in the face to Benchmade and the bug out. Just a kick in the face and then a knee to the face to take the entire thing down. You'll have to let me know what you think of the Bel Air here. I always look forward to hearing from you. What do you want to see next with Kershaw, or what do you want to see next with the Bel Air? Different blade shapes, different steels, different locking mechanisms, more sizes. What do you want to see from Kershaw and the Bel Air? Always look forward to hearing from you. I'll have that kick-ass deal down in the description. There'll be links over to it if you want to go scope it out. Hopefully it is still going on when you are watching this video. Do me a solid and hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more dope knife and EDC content on the daily, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you never miss another GBall Vision video. I'll pop a couple of new ones up on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.